on the channel. Today, we are going to talk about billionaires who paid $200,000 to see the remains of the Titanic, which disappeared forever. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get started. One of the 5 people on board the OceanGate submersible that vanished over the weekend in the Atlantic Ocean is a British billionaire. Hamish Harding, 58, was one of the mission specialists or passengers who paid $250,000 apiece to witness the Titanic debris that sank in the Atlantic Ocean in 1912. This is according to Mediaite. Harding announced that he would take part in an OceanGate underwater trip on Sunday via his Instagram account. "I am proud to finally announce that I joined OceanGate Exped for their Arms Titanic mission as a mission specialist on the sub going down to the Titanic," stated Harding, the chairman of Action Aviation. Harding noted that the Canadian province of Newfoundland is going through its worst winter in 40 years, and that the attempt to reach the Titanic is likely to be the first and only manned mission heading to the tragic cruise ship this year. "We began steaming yesterday from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, and we expect to begin diving tomorrow morning at roughly 4 a.m. We have a lot of planning and briefing to do before then," Harding added. If the weather holds, the British entrepreneur promised more excursion updates will be sent. The president of the Explorers Club, to which Harding belongs, Richard Garriott de Caillou, stated in the statement that the multi-billionaire explorer was looking forward to conducting research on the Titanic. "The lost submersible should be located as quickly as possible," Garriott stated on behalf of his organization, according to the Associated Press. Harding is the holder of 3 Guinness World Records, including the crewed vessel's longest stay at full ocean depth. Harding and oceanographer Victor Vescovo traveled to the Mariana Trench's deepest point. In March 2021, on the New Shepard rocket from Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, Harding traveled to space last year. Rear Admiral John Mauger of the U.S. Coast Guard reported on Monday that a global search and rescue operation is being conducted to find the missing Titan submarine. According to Mauger, the search operation is currently underway 900 miles off Cape Cod in Massachusetts in water that is 13,000 feet deep. The Coast Guard representative added that because they are searching a distant location, the job of finding the missing craft is difficult. The managing director of Harding's Action Aviation, Mark Butler, voiced fear for the submersible's destiny due to the fact that it only has 80-plus hours of oxygen remaining. The Titan can dive 4,000 meters, 13,120 feet, according to OceanGate's legal petition before a U.S. District Court in Virginia, with a comfortable safety margin, due to its construction of titanium and filament. Wound carbon fiber, the submersible could also withstand the enormous pressures of the deep ocean, according to OceanGate. Despite the fact that the Titan had already completed more than 50 test dives, OceanGate stated in their court filing from November 2022 that the submersible had experienced modest damage due to a battery problem on its first dive and had to be manually attached to its lifting platform. An undersea exploration company's mission to the crash site could set off this week, beginning what is anticipated to be a yearly chronicle of the ship's deterioration as it races against time. Experts aim to learn more about the ship and the underwater environment that shipwrecks spawn with the aid of wealthy tourists. From a ship en route to the North Atlantic disaster site Stockton Rush, president of OceanGate Expeditions declared, "The ocean is taking this thing, and we need to document it before it all disappears or becomes unrecognizable. Deep-sea currents and microorganisms that eat hundreds of kilos of iron every day are battering the 109-year-old ocean liner. According to some, the ship could disappear within a few decades as parts and holes yawn in the hull. The 30-meter forward mast has fallen since the ship was found in 1985. The lookout's crow's nest vanished as he yelled, 'Iceberg, right ahead!' And as the ship fell, the crowded poop deck collapsed in on itself. Near the grand staircase, the gymnasium has collapsed, and a 2019 expedition found that the captain's eerie bathtub, which was visible once the captain's cabin's exterior wall came down, is no longer there. This week, the undersea exploration business intends to dive to the Titanic. The railing on the bow, which is highly famous, should have collapsed at some point, according to Mr. Rush. According to Mr. Rush, the company has installed multi-beam sonar technology and high-definition cameras on its carbon fiber and titanium submersibles. Scientists can anticipate the destiny of other deep sea wrecks such as those that sank during the World Wars by tracking their decomposition. OceanGate also intends to take pictures of the site's marine biodiversity, including corals and crabs. According to Rush, hundreds of species have only been observed around the wreck. Researchers might be able to discover more about the decrepit ship thanks to the underwater submersible. The items in the debris area will also be a point of emphasis. David Concannon, an OceanGate advisor who has taken part in several Titanic excursions, claimed that he had traced a trail of light debris and small personal effects like shoes and luggage for 2 kilometers. Along with marine biologists and archaeologists, OceanGate is also sending about 40 tourists who pay to visit the ghost ship. The 5 people inside the submersible will take turns using the sonar equipment and carrying out other chores. They are each contributing somewhere between $130,000 and $200,000 toward the excursion. Somebody paid $28 million to go with Blue Origin to space, not even the moon, remarked Renata Rojas, 53, of Hoboken, New Jersey. Rojas, who has been fascinated by the Titanic since she was a young girl, claimed that she began studying oceanography in the hopes of one day finding the shipwreck. But when it was discovered that same year, she decided to pursue a career in banking. For her to truly believe it was true, she admitted that she needed to see it with her own eyes. Bill Sauter, a Titanic expert who formerly oversaw studies for the business that holds the ship's salvage rights, expressed skepticism about the expedition's potential for finding anything that's front page news. But he claimed that it would enhance knowledge of the wreck structure and debris field worldwide. For instance, he wants confirmation of the location of the dog kennels on the ship. OceanGate's trip is much less contentious than the now canceled intentions of another company to recover the Titanic's radio because it will not remove anything from the site. Because the radio apparatus had transmitted the Titanic's distress calls, Armed Titanic, the company that owns the salvage rights to the wreck, wanted to display it. When the ship struck an iceberg in 1912, almost 2,200 passengers and crew perished. However, the initiative created a legal spat with the U.S. government last year. It said that because the wreck is a cemetery site, the expedition would violate federal law and a treaty with Britain to leave it alone. After the ship hit an iceberg in 1912, all but about 700 of the roughly 2,200 passengers and crew perished. After the company permanently postponed its intentions due to difficulties caused by the coronavirus epidemic, the legal dispute came to an end. But it's possible that this upcoming mission won't be well received by everyone. The Titanic Historical Society's president at the time, Ed Kamuta, told the Associated Press in 2003 that human activity, including tourism and expeditions, has to be restricted. He argued that the location should just serve as a straightforward maritime memorial. He answered, "Let nature reclaim what is hers. It won't be long before the ocean floor is covered in a brown stain and a pile of pig iron." That's a wrap on the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.